Hey everyone, how's it going? Sometimes you guys, I get scared that I have to sit so much for like the work that I do, and like the fact that I create so many videos and do so much video editing, and so much of that I have to sit for. I mean, I stand for some of it, but some of it but a lot of it I sit for, and that like gives me anxiety sometimes because I'm sitting a lot during live streams, sitting a lot during editing. Anyway, how is everyone? How's everyone doing? Where are you coming from? Oh, it's supposed to rain all week here. That is very rageful. All right, let me see if I can share this. It's been super dreary out. Just like every single day. France, you're coming from France. From Spain, hello, Dario. If you guys are in YouTube, this doesn't get bruised, it's a real thing. Oh, weird. That's crazy. I didn't know that. If you guys are in YouTube, make sure to take the polls. Polls? Why can't I say polls? Yeah, it's going to be dreary all week too and rainy all week. And I'm already like, whatever. It's very Rachel. Doesn't feel like Christmas at all. Do you guys like my shirt? Okay. How do you like that? I got this from a Palestinian designer in Australia, driving back from work, listening to your live. Hey, Alamode, I heard that didn't Australia is this something I'm making up in my head, or did Australia ban some Israeli regime tourists from coming to the country? I was joking, but that's literally true. How's everyone doing? Oh, there's so much. You know what pisses me off? Is that, hey Osmaric, hey Bianca. They were IOF operatives. Oh, that's funny. Good for them. Good for them. I think they didn't give them a visa. That's really funny. Well, good. Good for them. That's the right thing to do. So I'm trying to Osmeric. What does that mean? All right, well, those of you guys who are in YouTube, make sure to take the poll. I think I might have put 2 polls or maybe a Q&A. I don't know, because I don't stream directly in YouTube or from YouTube. One soldier got arrested in Morocco. Lol. Oh, that's really funny. That's really funny. Oh my gosh. I think that we all know that Google is really crappy now, right? Like we all know that Google sucks. I don't know what happened, but it sucks. Like the Twitter search bar is actually, or like search engine is actually better, which is saying a lot, But I also hate Twitter because it's so like, it's less censorious than it's less censorious than a lot of the other social media apps, but it's also rigged, by Elon Musk, for Donald Trump, for the right wing, for the Zionist, and for the billionaire class, which is why the For You section always only talks about things that would pertain to them. Thank you, Donald. Yes, you are. But Donald, I also put a Q&A in there that says, what day would work for you guys to do a private AMA with me? Because I couldn't get a consistent date from people last week. I was going to do it this week, or like ask about it last week and then do it this week, but I could not get a consistent date or anything from everyone who are members. So I'm trying again. What do you think about the mayoral race or election and the potential primary candidate? Wait, we're already in the mayoral election. Who's running? The Q&A is not showing up? What? That's rageful. What? Why? It should. Hold on. This is so annoying. Why? Why does everything always have to be hard? Wait, it is showing up. It's on there. It's saying it's on there. That's really weird that you can't see it because it's on there. Anyway. Oh, wait, can you guys hear me? Yeah, that's Rachel. I'm going to steal that. There's a "Are you sub to my channel" question. Yeah, they're both. It's saying that they're both there though on my end. That's really annoying. That's really annoying. I know I usually don't do streams on Monday, but I decided that I was going to because I'm not going to have a lot of other time to do it this week. I will probably do on Thursday too, though, guys. So, yeah, who is running in the mayoral race? The Israeli regime shut down its Ireland embassy. I saw that. I made a video about it too yesterday, or a short, I guess. I made a video about it yesterday. I know. I thought that was really funny. Bye. And you'll never guess the reason why they said they were shutting down the embassy, because they're anti-Semitic. Ireland's Hamas. Wait. Okay. All right. I'm going to try to delete the poll and see if the Q&A thing will show up. Richie Torres. Wait, no, I did know this. I knew about Andrew Cuomo because I made a video about it. Brandon McClendon. If you go to my YouTube or my TikTok or any of the other social medias that I use, I did make a video about Andrew Cuomo saying he was going to run for mayor of New York. Yeah, it's going to be so fucking cringe. It's going to be so unbearable because both of them are lunatic Zionists that just work on behalf of the Israeli regime. And that's what New Yorkers need to understand, is that if you're a New Yorker and you care at all about our city, we should have zero interest in electing someone as mayor who's going to be working on behalf of the Israeli regime, which is all they do. Go look at Richie Torres' Twitter. All that bitch does is tweet about the Israeli regime. That's it. Same with Andrew Cuomo. He was canceled basically kind of, you know, temporary. Like these cancellations with rich people are temporary. But he was pushed out of office because he's a sex pest. And the only time he's come back to show his face again is to do propaganda for the Israeli regime. So you look at Andrew Cuomo's Twitter and you look at Richie Torres' Twitter, and all it is Israeli regime propaganda. That's it. We don't need somebody else in our politics working on behalf of a foreign government. Okay. We need somebody who actually cares about New York. Oh, I know. I saw that. I saw that the USS Liberty thing. I didn't watch it because I don't watch Candace Owens, but I did find the response of people freaking out and sharing that PragerU clip of her doing, you know, Hasbara propaganda from years ago really funny, because they're like, oh, this is when Candace Owens used to be honest when she would do propaganda for the Israeli regime. It's like, no, bro, no, it's that she was in a right-wing echo chamber, and that's what the right wing teaches you to do. And she worked at the time for PragerU, which is a lunatic Zionist organization. So of course she was going to toe their line. Wait, some months ago, it was a bunch of Zionists that were like, who cares about Ireland anyway? They're irrelevant. Wow, that's really funny. They don't like Ireland because Ireland stands on the right side and calls them out for their bullshit, because Ireland knows what it's like to be colonized. Might as well move to NYC and run for mayor. Yeah, I know. Our mayors suck. It's like, why do they always suck? I saw Candace Owens was named Andy's. Yeah, I know. I saw a lot of people being upset they didn't win, you know, like Bassem Youssef was like, damn, I should have won. You know, there were a couple people that felt like that they should have won. But yeah, it doesn't mean anything. You know, all they're doing actually is helping her. The ADL and the Zionist lobby continuing to attack her are just helping her, which to me is not a good thing, because I don't think that she is somebody that people should be trusting. Because, like, I listened to some of her quote analysis on Luigi Mangione, and it was just conspiratorial nonsense as a way to distract from the real conversation of capitalism and billionaire oligarchy and the corporations that run our entire country. So that was really unfortunate. So that's why I don't think that she's helpful at all for anybody that actually cares about justice, or, you know, not being run and controlled by a corporate oligarchy or being a corporatocracy. But I'm not surprised by that, because she's married to somebody really, really wealthy, who is a wealthy capitalist. And I think, I don't remember, I think he runs like some right-wing organization, like Turning Points or some shit, which is also a Zionist organization in the UK, run by Charlie Kirk, who is a crazy Zionist. Yeah, to me, like broken clock, you know what I mean? That's how I feel about like Candace Owens. She's wrong on so many things, and she never leads her audience into a actual critique of our system, challenging our corporatocracy, challenging our plutocracy, because fundamentally conservatives don't oppose it. That's why there's never backlash when conservatives do shitty things, screw over working people, because a lot, like, conservatism at its core is capitalist, and they will do everything they can to defend the capitalist and billionaire class. So that doesn't help anyone. And even her critique oftentimes against the Israeli regime is framed only from the perspective of somebody who is upset about it because of how Christians are treated. Now, I don't disagree with the fact that the Israeli regime treats Christians terribly, but that's not the only reason you should oppose them. And I don't know. I just, so she might have said things that were true about the Israeli regime, and it's no doubt she's been targeted by their lobby 100%. The second you step out of line against the Zionist lobby, they will come down on you like none other. but broken clock can be on the right side of one issue twice a day and for the wrong reasons. Because again, Candace Owens, remember, was hired specifically by the Daily Wire because she would do the dirty work that Ben Shapiro did not want to do. She would get on there and she would denigrate Black people and denigrate trans people and create conspiracy theories about the vaccine. And they loved it because she was a Black woman getting on there and doing that. It wasn't until she stepped out of line with the Israeli regime that then all of a sudden they were like, wait a minute, we think Candace Owens is really problematic and, you know, she's really like hateful and she says really hatefully. It's like, bitch, that's why you guys hired her. That's why you guys hired her. You're just mad that, you know, she went a little too far over that line for you and criticized the people that control your company. So let's not get that twisted. Yeah, like it's giving Jordan Peterson a lot of the time. Like, remember Daily Wire, like, to hire Jordan Peterson, who like people on the right thought was this like smart intellectual, but he's really just a Zionist cuck and a hack and a crazy person. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. I'm not saying that Candace Owens is not, you know, a smart person. She is. She's very smart and she's good at like media. You know, she's good at what she does. But that's the reason why you have to be careful about listening to any kind of like propaganda coming from a channel like hers, because it's you have to know. I mean, I guess I guess if you're a conservative and you're a capitalist and you believe in protecting the plutocracy and the corporatocracy and the rulers in this country, then sure, go ahead. You know, Candace Owens is probably going to be right up your alley. But if you have a problem with the corporatocracy and the elites running our government, well, then you probably really are not going to jive with her, probably shouldn't be listening or taking advice from her. Because like I said, if you'll notice, none of her critiques are ever of capital. Never. Her critiques and her attacks on, you know, France's Brigitte Macron are only because she thinks she's trans. Her attacks on Anthony Fauci or the big pharma is only that she's anti-vax. It never is about the way we are gouged and the price gouging. Her comments about Luigi Mangione had nothing to do with the fact that we are fucked over by our healthcare system and just went into conspiratorial nonsense about maybe he's a Fed. Like, nothing. The fundamental thing you will never see from conservatives, and this is not just true of Candace Owens, this is true of every conservative. What you will never see is a critique of the underlying systems that fuck over the American people. Never. You're never going to see them attack, you know, corporations for not paying their taxes, for screwing over the American people, for offshoring their profits and not paying taxes on those, for union busting, for, you know, screwing the American people out of prescription drug prices that are lower. You'll never see them criticize money in politics. You'll never see that. Ever, ever, ever. Their critiques are always culture war bullshit. It's never a critique of the system and how the system hurts you. Like, as an American citizen, how our oppressive corporatocracy and oligarchy that we're living under hurts you. They never talk about that. It's always just culture war bullshit. And it's the exact same reason why Ben Shapiro got ratioed into oblivion on his comments about the healthcare system, because fundamentally, she doesn't disagree with him on that. Like, they both believe in our corrupt healthcare system. It's just that he's really embarrassing, so he's willing to like come out and actually just straight up shill for the corporations, where she's much more like on the DL about her shilling for it, because she's smart enough to understand that that's not really what her audience would want. The point to be a conservative is to always protect capital and scapegoat other people. Oh, it's not the pharmaceutical industry ripping you off. It's Anthony Fauci, some like random fucking guy. Oh no, it's not the fact that corporations don't pay you anything. It's actually the immigrants. Oh, you know, it's not the fact that we don't have paid family leave. It's trans like or drag queen story hour. Like, it's always a diversion from trying to actually have a conversation about what is actually going on in this country. Yeah, pretty much. And she hasn't called him out for his shilling on the Israeli regime, nor has she called out the fact that he's stacking his administration with neocons and Zionists. That's how you also know she is not sincere. Like, it's not a sincere thing, you know? She's a careerist just like the rest of them. And because if she really, really believed in what she says she believes in, just like all of the right wing, again, everything I'm saying about Candace Owens is true of everybody across the right wing. The only difference is the other right wingers don't get attacked because they're willing to bend the knee to the Israeli regime. And that is the only way she's different. Like, genuinely, that's the only way she's different than the rest of the right wing, is that she has been unwilling to bend the knee to the Israeli regime. But she bends the knee to everything else. Like, she's never once criticized Trump for completely selling out to the military industrial complex, for criticizing the neocons and the war hawks and then putting all of them in his administration, for criticizing corruption and then stacking his administration with billionaire CEOs and lunatic Zionists. Like, Mike Huckabee is a psychotic evangelical Zionist that thinks the end times are soon. And he just put him in his cabinet. Do you see them calling it out? No, of course not. Because despite what, you know, people like some people on the left tend to think now, like Jank seems to think this now, and Anna seems to think this now, that there's like a populist from TYT, I mean, that there's like a populist right happening. Guys, there is no populist right. That's why none of them care. They just fired Lena Khan, who was one of the best things that happened in the Biden administration, and none of them care. What happened to populism? What happened to populism? They should love Lena Khan. Even JD Vance pretended to love Lena Khan. And then not really when she got fired. Thank you, Saul, for gifting Blakeley memberships. That's a really funny profile picture, Saul. Thank you so much. Guys, Saul just gifted 10 I Am Blakeley memberships on YouTube, so you can just click on them to become a member thanks to the generosity of Saul. Thank you so much. And I got my first super chat. Thank you, Perry Stein. But liberals are just the same as conservatives. They just take the opposite side of the cultural issues. Yes, Perry, but the difference is the voters. That's why the Democrats hate their base so much. You ever notice that? The Democrats despise their base. They fucking hate the left, whereas conservatives embrace their base. And the reason for that is because the Democrats, by and large, with the exception of maybe 3 or 4 lawmakers, are, as you correctly point out, hacks like the Republicans, and will sell out to the highest donor, to the highest bidder, to the Israeli lobby, to corporate America, to the pharmaceutical industry, to the military industrial complex. Correct. Those things are all true. The difference is, okay, is that one, there is only one person on the right that doesn't do that. One lawmaker on the right, that's Thomas Massie. He's the only one out of all of them. At least like of the Democrats, there's like 4, you know, not that's damning with faint praise. But I mean, the other thing is though, is that the voters care. That's again, why the Democrats hate the left. They hate the left because the left cares about corruption, cares about critiquing capitalism, cares about our system being owned and operated by billionaires and oligarchs. The left voter actually cares about those things, whereas by and large, conservatives don't really care about those things, which is why you don't see them angry when the Republicans, you know, defend to the end like all of those things, because like they by and large don't care. Are there some voters that are against the corruption? Absolutely. On the right. That's why you saw that backlash against Ben Shapiro. But it's few and far in between. Like it's not the majority. There is a minority of conservative voters who are anti-corruption and against an anti-Zionist. And I welcome those people. If those people want to come hang, I welcome them because you can at least agree on some of the things and work together. But where I feel like TYT has it totally wrong, and a lot of people have it totally wrong, is that all of our lawmakers are on the same corrupt side. But when it comes to the voters, by and large, conservative voters actually think that, Zionism is great, the Israeli regime is great, capitalists fucking you over and the bourgeoisie fucking you over is actually awesome in the free market. And so that's why it's different, because you'll see, like, if you look at the polling on the genocide in Gaza, the vast majority that people that opposed it were on the left. Even liberals, the vast majority of voters that opposed it were on the left. Same thing with healthcare. The vast majority of people who want healthcare to be a right and not a privilege of those who can afford it are on the left. Which is why Malcolm X said liberals are worse than conservatives. Yes, because they will. The difference is that a lot of the time, they pretend to give a shit about what you give a shit about, but they really don't. Conservatives oftentimes, at least when it comes to like some things, will tell you outright what monsters they are. Although sometimes I feel like we give conservatives too much credit for being real when they lie a lot and are phonies too. Like, conservative lawmakers pretending to be populist is a lie, in the same way that liberals lie. Them pretending to be populist and then trying to gut healthcare, gut regulations, give all the money to the rich and the Israeli regime. How is that populist? But they pretend to be populist and they get away with it. And the reason why they get away with it is because their voters are not holding them accountable for it. If there are really that many populists on the right, economic populists on the right, they should be holding their lawmakers accountable for their shillery. But they're not. They're not. I haven't seen it. Have you guys seen it? Yeah, so people do hate liars more than outright hateful fucks. But like I said, let's not give credit where it's not due to conservatives pretending like they're not also liars, because they're pretending right now, as they've been pretending, that they're for the populist working class when they're not. They literally oppose everything that would help the working class. Just think about it this way, guys. This is where I want you to remember that conservatives are also bad faith liars, okay? Republicans, conservatives. They all say, oh, we're populists. We care about the working class. We're the party of the working class now. Remember Ted Cruz? With calluses on their hands, we're the party of the working class now. Do they support Medicare for all or any kind of health care from the government? No. Did they support the child tax credit? No. Do they support paid family leave? No. Do Republicans support raising the minimum wage? No. Did Republicans support nursing home care that were in some of the bills that the Biden administration proposed, the Build Back Better bill? No. Do they support paid medical leave? No. Do they support reforming the housing crisis and making a law that hedge funds or private equity can't buy up whole house blocks and make it impossible for a regular American to afford a house? No, they don't oppose it. The only thing you will ever see coming is a solution from the right wing, whether they're Republicans or just conservatives, is tax cuts for the rich and deregulation for banks and businesses that are already fucking you over. That's it. There will be no, let's do anything to help the American people. It's always and forever tax cuts for the rich and deregulation. In fact, if you have any question about this, you guys, I implore you to go watch any video or find any conversation where a right-winger politician is pretending to be a populist, and then when they are asked what their solution is to some of the problems that we face in this country, what their answer is. Listen to what their answer is, and I promise you, it will always come down to We actually need to give more tax cuts to corporations and the rich and deregulation, which what that means is taking any protections away from the American people on businesses, banks, oil companies, so that they can steal money from you with impunity and poison your water with impunity. That's what that shit means. Deregulation means let's allow them to do another Wall Street crash like they did in 2008, the financial crisis. Let's let them have another East Palestine, Ohio, where they dumped a bunch of toxic chemicals into your water and none of them are held accountable. That's what they mean when they say deregulation. So just know that and let me know. Tell me. Go listen to what are their so-called answers on that. Thank you for the super chat, Perry, by the way. I appreciate all of you who support this channel, give super chats, support my work in any way that you do. A lot of conservative populists were outed by their opposition to Mangione. Exactly. 100%. 100%. Because how do you call yourself a populist and then take the side of the healthcare companies? What? That is so cringe. Bootlicking the 1%. How pathetic. You know, a perfect example of this, and I know we talked about this last time on stream, like I already talked about this and made a video, we went over it last stream, was when we were watching the Pierce But Do You Condemn Hamas Morgan debate that had Clay Travis on it, who is a conservative populist host. What did he do? He's a populist, but he was in the Israeli regime, bootlicking to the Zionists, and then bootlicking for the CEO and the healthcare companies in that debate while attacking Breonna Joy Gray. Populist? I don't, as the great Kevin McAllister would say, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, that's true, Donald. But again, yes, it was a very small minority of people. But Donald, that's kind of the point that I'm making, though, about this is that I'm not saying that there are no populist conservatives. There are some, but it's a small amount. It's not a lot of people. It's like when you look at populists, real populists that actually want to fight the elites and fight the oligarchy, they're mostly on the left. I would say 8 out of 10 are on the left, and there's maybe 2 on the right. And that's of the voters. That's not politicians or media personalities, because none of the politicians or media personalities are populists. None of them. Not a single one of them. They are still, as the Republican Party always has been, the party of the rich, country club, elites, tax cuts for the rich, and deregulation for big business. They've just done a rebrand, you guys. Like the Republican Party and their commentators, they've just done a rebrand, but they're not populist at all. That's why, again, they are just the Republican Party of old, like just completely bowing down to the powers that be and the corporations and big business and the Israeli regime. They just rebranded. And another perfect example of that, and you guys will see it, especially those of you on Twitter who see the way that they reacted to Luigi Mangione, is people like Matt Walsh. How did Matt Walsh make his name? By saying he was a conservative populist, by acting like he was a conservative populist. And then he was bootlicking the CEO of United Healthcare and the healthcare companies taking their side. Frauds, fraud.com. So yes, my point is, are there a small number, percentage-wise, of conservative voters that are populist? And we're talking economically populist. Yes, there are, but it is a small percentage. Most of the populists are on the left or are independents, unaffiliated, people that don't really pay attention to politics at all, are populist. And none of the right wing's media are populist, not a single one. Member for 2 months, Donald. Yay. Thank you. You've been a member for 2 months now. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for helping me build this channel. Oh, you know what? we're almost, I say it's we, the royal we are almost at 20,000 subs. Okay. We are a small but mighty community here. Okay. Small but mighty. I don't even have a professional camera. I stream from my, the camera that's the default on my laptop. So we don't even have a professional camera, folks, but we're a small but mighty community. We are almost at 20 subs. Let's get to 20 subs. Let's get to 20 subs. But we do that one sub at a time. And people like Donald has been a member for 2 months. And I appreciate you so much. I appreciate every single one of you, whether you are a member or whether or not you are just subbing to the channel. I appreciate you. Let's continue to build this community. No, yeah, it's not. It's wonderful. And again, it's because of people like you, Donald, helping build the channel one sub at a time, one membership at a time. And I thank you guys so much for that. I feel like, and we'll talk about this more, I feel like in the new year, how we really need to start being serious about building leftist infrastructure, progressive infrastructure online, because it is dominated by the right wing, just dominated by the right wing. And it definitely contributed to Donald Trump's election win. So when we go into the new year, I think that we need to start having a lot more conversations about how to build left media. I made a video about it. If you guys look at my YouTube channel, I made a video about it a little earlier, talking about how we really need to start focusing on building progressive and leftist media infrastructure, because I'm not saying it's the reason why Trump won. Trump won for many reasons. It's never just one thing. But the way that they took on social media and digital media, like podcasts in general, just definitely helped. Definitely helped is all I'm saying. So my point is, what? My point, I'll get to that in a sec, just one sec. My point is that we really need to build that up, and we need to help encourage the growth of other left-wing media. You know what I mean? Like, in a way that the right is so good at doing. Because again, like, the right are evil, but they are very smart in the way that they do politics. And the left sucks at politics. Like, let's just be real about this. Like, the left sucks at politics. And the right is very good at it. And they're very good at propaganda. And one of the things they do is they always build up each other's media. Like, always build up each other's media. You got, like the Daily Wire hiring Candace Owens when they did, and then bringing on Jordan Peterson, and they go on all each other's shows. They always are uplifting each other and promoting each other's shit. They are all friends. They all go, like, encourage them to go on one to the other to try to, like, poison people's minds with their propaganda, but they're very good at it. And the left is fractured. Like, the leftist ecosystem, progressive ecosystem, is totally fractured. And we treat each other oftentimes like enemies rather than building each other up. So if you are on the left or unaffiliated or even on the right, you should be coming over to our side, and we should all be helping each other. We should all be building each other up, all be building each other's media up to try to create a bigger infrastructure in a way that the right has so successfully done. That's why I always try to sub and follow and support all the other left channels, even if they're not leftist, like even like some progressive liberal channels I'll sub to, because I think that it's really important that we get that kind of infrastructure. And yes, Donald, as you say, the reason why it's so important to do this, to build this infrastructure, is because they do have all the money. That's exactly how. They do have all the money. So that's why we really need to work hard to be better at how we politic and better at how we organize our media, and we need to be better about how we organize our media and create media infrastructure. You know what I mean? Because they do have all the monetary advantages. Yes, exactly. And this was a big part of it, random stuff, which is why it's important. Some people were like, it's not important. Media is not important. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. People, I feel like, especially on the left, I feel like people downplay the importance of media, whether that be a YouTube channel, a podcast, social media. Like, media is incredibly important. If media wasn't incredibly important, the right wing would not spend billions of dollars on it. They wouldn't spend billions of dollars creating these media apparatuses, paying propagandists to go do their dirty work for them, banning TikTok. Why do you think they banned TikTok? They didn't want people spreading information in a way that they could not control. So, yes, it's important. So thank you everybody who subs to this channel. Please sub to this channel, support this channel as a member if you are able to, or any of my other platforms if you are able to. Become a patron, become a Ko-Fi member, and also sub and support other, left media channels, people doing left media, progressive media. We need to start creating an ecosystem in which we're lifting each other up and we are promoting each other. So I'm actually thinking on that to piggyback off of starting to do like, I don't know if I want to say interviews, because interviews seems a little formal, but like maybe starting to have other left people from the left on here. Like maybe, I don't know, once a week or once every 2 weeks, or I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I'm kind of shopping it like right now. It's like TYT's downfall. I don't support TYT anymore, but I still caucus with them. We have to remember we're all on the same team. That's a good point, Donald. Exactly. Like you can people can be like, okay, TYT to a lot of people now has become more conservative. People don't like it, the direction that they're going in. But at the same time, you shouldn't be spending more energy on TYT than you should be spending fighting the capitalists and the right wing and the oligarchs. Like, we have to remember who our enemy is. I got banned off your Discord for no reason at all, and I didn't even do anything wrong. I think it was one of the more things I did. Yeah, I will definitely look into that, Welsh. Let me write it down, because every time I try to do it while I'm on the stream, it ends up being like me, like a boomer sitting there and trying to like figure out how to like work Discord, and it's very boomer. But yeah, let me look into that. I will find out what's going on, because yes, I don't think that the only people that I want banned from my server are people who violate the rules, and the rules are this. I don't mind anybody being in the server as long as they are a supporter, obviously. I don't want some like, troll, right-wing troll in the server. And they can't be Zionists, and they can't be harassing people, or like, being transphobic or, hateful. But I doubt, Welsh, that you did any of those things. So yeah, I will definitely, I don't know why I can't find my post-its. You know what? I'll just make a note on my computer. Collabs are good. I think it will be good unless you start promoting. No. No, 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 no. No. Guests give me good idea of who to follow. I ended up here because of your guest appearance. Yeah, that's what I think. I think that, and the fact that you say that makes me feel like I should do it even more, because that's how you spread information and left ideas. You also need to like talk to each other. So maybe having a guest, like I said, it's not gonna be like an interview. I'm not an interviewer, but like maybe having a guest on like once a week might be good. A good idea, because it just to help uplift other people on the left, uplifting other people on the left, or other people who are independent or, left leaning. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like a professional thing either. Like, I'm totally fine with just having random people. Like, you don't have to be like, it doesn't have to be like a politician or a journalist. Like, of course, I would love to interview journalists, but or not interview journalists, but like talk to journalists. Of course, I would love to do that. But if it's just like random regular people that are doing things on the left, or random regular people that are doing things trying to make the world better, trying to make their community better, I would love to do that too. I recommend you to the letterhead for a gift. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I haven't gotten an invite though. Have not gotten an invite yet. Okay. I'm sure he'll be inviting me very soon. Yeah, so anyway, feel free guys to tell me who you would like me to talk to or like have a chat with and have a conversation with. And yeah, feel free to put that in chat, or you can also put in the Discord. And yeah, I want to say conversation because I don't want it to be so formal. It wouldn't be formal, It would be like just hanging out, just chatting. So I wouldn't want to call it like an interview, but like maybe like an informal like conversation, just like a conversation with somebody else. So yeah, put your Rex in. Also, if there's somebody that you want me to talk to, go talk to them too, because some of them will be snobs and not want to like come to talk to me because I'm not big enough. Like I don't have a large enough channel for them to want to like fuck with me on. So yeah, go tell them too that you want either me to go on their show or them to come on my show, because yeah, we need to be building each other up and not being snobs and not talking to people because they don't have a big enough platform yet. You know what's funny, Collage Mirage, is that I actually did interview Nick Cruz one time. So back before years ago, we did a very short-lived podcast or like YouTube channel, me and Chris Smalls, the Amazon labor union leader. I think the videos are still on YouTube, called It's a Smalls World. Like, I wonder if I could find that. Hold on. I wonder if I like put it in YouTube if it would show up. Yes, it does. Okay, watch this, you guys. All right, you guys see that? It was 3 years ago. Socialist MMA. Joe Biden is the most anti-Black public servant of the last 40 and 50 years. So this was like a small, like I said, podcast that we did with Chris Smalls for a little while. And then we stopped because basically Chris got really busy with just like the union and traveling around the world. He didn't have time to do it anymore. But it was good. And we interviewed people, and we interviewed Nick Cruz. And actually, Chris and I have been talking about picking up a podcast again for a while, but he hasn't really had time. I really want to though. Like we've been talking about maybe doing like a weekly live on Instagram, maybe like a weekly live on somebody's Instagram. But yeah, we haven't been able to because he's just been really busy. I hope he can though eventually soon. I hope that podcast that he and I were talking about not that long ago we're able to do. Who would you like to have as a guest or be a guest on that we may not know about? I would love to talk to, wait, hold on, let me see if I can pull him up. I don't know. I can't find them. I don't know. There are a lot of people that I would like to talk to, but I don't know if they're people you guys wouldn't know. I think you would probably know a lot of them. Some people would be people that like are that maybe that you wouldn't know, or maybe just people that I'm mutuals with on TikTok. Like, I would love to have a conversation with Salma, who is a Palestinian from Gaza living in Boston, I think it is. I would love to have her on to have a conversation. I think a lot of people that I'm mutuals with on TikTok, you guys might not know, but they're really good creators. And also, Ahmed, he goes under the handle of Gaza Blanca. We have been trying to put together a weekly show for a while. Um, we've been trying to put a weekly show again for a while, and maybe we'll be able to do it this weekend, but yeah. One of these days we are going to start this show, me and Ahmed, on on one of our Saturdays, our weekly Saturdays. Please be careful, look into the context. Yeah, the reason why I'm not like weighing into that very much is because I don't know. I don't have enough education on Syria, and I know that there's a lot of fighting about Syria right now between people on the left, like, or people in the pro-Palestine cause. There has been a lot of arguing I'm seeing, and a lot of division and fighting between people who are called, I guess, pro-Assad and people who aren't. And I'm not talking about that because I literally do not know enough about Syria or the history or the context to have an opinion on it. And also, if I see that all these people that do know about it are fighting because they don't agree on a bunch of things having to do with Syria, then I'm not trying to take my ignorant ass into that conversation and start arguing with people when I don't know. And like I don't talk about it because I don't know what the truth is. You know what I mean? Cuz like when it comes to Palestine, it's very black and white and very cut and dry who the villain is and who the oppressed people are that are, fighting for their freedom. You know what I mean? Like it's very cut and dry to me. It's very black and white. When it comes to, and everybody I know that is on the left or even tangentially on the left agrees with that. Like we all have the same stance on Palestine. But when it comes to Syria, I see a bunch of people that are on the same side when it comes to Palestine fighting about Syria. So I don't know. Like, I don't know who is right on this side, who is on the right side of Syria, and who is on the wrong side because I'm not educated enough in the subject. Like, I don't know enough about Syria's history, what's actually happening there to be able to have an opinion on it. And yeah, I don't want to spread lies and propaganda even if accidentally. Thank you for this super chat, Perry. I love to hear from yes. That would be really awesome. That'd be really awesome. You know what would be awesome? Not that it would be easy to get her to come on here. It would be if I could talk to Lena Khan. Yes, it would be great to talk to Nadine. Thank you again for the super chat. Yeah, I don't know. And honestly, the thing too about Syria is that, like I said, because of the fact that I see so much fighting about it from people that I respect and people disagreeing about it who are all on the left and they're fighting about it, people who are all pro Palestine fighting about it, it makes me confused Like, I don't know who's telling the truth, who's not telling the truth, who's right and who's wrong, because maybe they're all trying to tell the truth, but some of them are right and some of them are wrong. And I don't know. There are, some people that, and it's hard to tell because, like I said, I don't know enough about the history. There are some people that, like, they do hold the view that, anything that has to do with the United States being involved is bad and automatically takes the side of the people that is opposed to the United States, like the America bad line. And I don't want to just be that reductionist, to just be like, oh, well, America bad, so this must be good. But I also, again, don't know enough about it to be talking about it and giving an opinion on what they should do or what should happen or, what's going on with, it's just such a mess. And I hope that the truth of what it is comes out. And also because multiple things can be true at once, like, I don't know this to be the case, but multiple things can be true at the same time. Like, it seems like when it comes to Syria, there is a lot of nuance. I think I love Rania Khalek. I would love to talk to Rania Khalek. I would love to have her on my show or go on hers. She posted this. I would also love to have Alana Hadid. Alana Hadid is a wonderful activist, Palestinian activist. Wait, let me see. Okay, here it is. So, yes, I love Rania. So Rania wrote, many things can be true at the same time. We can be happy that the Ba'athist regime in Syria has fallen. See, like, this is how ignorant I am on Syria. I don't even know what the Ba'athist regime is. Fallen while also holding space for concerns about the future of Syria's sovereignty and diversity under the HTLs. Yeah, and wasn't there a guy that they're like making the leader that was like a designated terrorist, like on the US like terror list, and then they just dropped the designation like it ain't no thing? Actually, what would be awesome, since I'm really not educated about it, it would be great to have somebody like Rania on to kind of go over it or give her perspective on it, talk about it. We can recognize the greed and gruesome brutality of the Assad family while also being honest about the murderous sectarian record of Mohammed al-Jawlani. Yeah, I think, isn't that the guy that the US was calling a terrorist? And then they're like, JK, let's call him not one because now he's good? ? Like, that seems sus. In Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon, we can condemn the way that the Syrian regime under Ba'ath rule hollowed out the country, turned it into a narco state, and refused to lessen the brutality, while also being honest about the 14-year, multi-billion-dollar US-led regime change war that helped destroy Syria. We can celebrate the end of the Syrian torture and death dungeons, while also condemning the Israeli destruction of Syria's military and the expansionist Greater Israel land grab in the Golan Heights. And we can absolutely call out HTS for signaling potential normalization with the Israeli regime and what it means for regional resistance, while also understanding Syria's new government is new and we have no choice but to wait and see. There's room for nuance. There always has been. What do you guys think of that? Thank you. Thank you, Jacob, or Mark Jacobs. Thank you for the super chat. Like the stream. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yes, please, if you're watching this, please like the stream and share the stream. I think that I'm still trying to learn how YouTube works, but I think that liking and sharing the stream helps the channel or something, or helps get it seen more, whatever. But also what I heard today from somebody I was watching on a YouTube stream, that your subscribers actually watching your content on YouTube is like really important. So if you guys do already subscribe to my channel, I hope you're I hope you're watching my content, because apparently that what this person was saying, I don't know if this is 100% true, but they were saying that like your own subscribers watching your content is even more important than getting new subscribers. Like having the base of people that already sub to your channel actually like watching and engaging with your content. So, yeah, if you already sub on here, please watch and comment and engage with my other content too.